Hey, I'm Jim. I'm going to show you how to make a sort of portable planer grinder to sort of level things out, especially on a subfloor, which is what I ran into. I had an issue where people came ahead of me, put glue in between the seams of where the three-quarter subflooring came together, and it expanded everything, and everything was up and raised. I couldn't figure out how to get this thing down. I thought a belt sander. I started doing that. That was taking forever. But I made this little gadget with my power saw. So all you need is your power saw, nice one, something that has a decent table with holes where you can run screws through, and a piece of plywood, 3/4 what I used. Excuse me. You know, size just varies. I just had this size laying around and it worked out great. So here's what I did. I took my piece of plywood, centered the power saw sort of on there, actually centered where the blade is. Cut a spot for the blade to go through, an area around it, so you know the blade's an 1/8 inch thick, probably about 1/2 inch thick or 1/2 inch wide, and like 4 inches long. Here it is. So I know this is like the most jacked up looking thing you could imagine, but it works fantastic. So I had run my screws. You can see there's a screw right there. So I got a 3/4 inch screw, wood screw, because that's the thickness of the wood. And with that little bit of a lip, it makes sure that it doesn't stick through the other side. And then there's another one down there. So I have two, but that seems to hold it great. And then I set the depth so that, I don't know if you can even see this, but yeah, I think you can. It's just down there like a 32nd of an inch below the surface of the plywood, and then it will work as a grinder. What I'll do with it is run it sideways. Have the power on and run it sideways, so it's just like a grinder, but this plane that it's sitting on keeps it nice and stable, and it makes sure that you're sort of not just getting a little divot, but you're getting a bigger section of floor to check on. So here it goes. I'm working on this subfloor because I'm going to have this luxury vinyl put down on top of it, and it's really unforgiving. If there's a little bump, you will see it. One thing to remember, if there's a little cut or a little tiny divot, you most likely won't see that if it's little, but the tiniest bump will come through. So I'm going to, here's what I'm doing, is put my level down along here, the seam. And I'm not actually looking at the level. We don't really care about that, but we do want to see, I don't know if you can see that. You can hear it, it's teeter-tottering, and I can feel that it teeter-totters right on this part. So sometimes on those seams, some it's right there, sometimes you got to feather it out farther. So always start in the middle if this is a seam thing going on, or if not a seam, just wherever the highest part is, and plane that down first, and then feather your way out from there. So I can see it's all in here, and you can actually, I don't know if you can see that from there, but I can tell this is here. So I'm just gonna, a big pencil, draw on there where it's gotta be taken out. That's good. That's good. No teeter-totter there. Little tiny one there. So we'll mark that too. And that's what I'll cut at. Important note, going through this project, you are gonna end up hitting nails, and your blade will be trashed at the end, but for like the 10 or 12 bucks it costs to get a new blade, totally worth it and makes everything great. But having said that, while you're going along, you will see some nails sticking up someplace, you know, here and there. So just make sure you ball up those things in. Get my cool tool. Got my ear protection in. It's really loud. Again, I'm going sideways. Here's the joint coming this way. I'm going at it sideways. Be really careful. Got glasses on too. That's doing it pretty good. And you'll see, I drew a little line where I don't know if you can see that, where the middle of the blade is. So that's kind of where the action's going to happen. And I just line that up. And you can see I've been going right here, but I'm going to keep going here still. So I'm going to line that line up. I did on both sides, all the way along there. Here we go. Also be careful because that blade's always sticking out. Wait for it to stop before you set it down. Otherwise it'll go for a run. But now I put it on there a little tiny bit, which I'll do, but that's the whole thing. So remember, this brings up a lot of splinters and a lot of dust, so wear eye protection and ear protection, and something, a mask is always a good idea too. But worked out great for me. I hope it works great for you too. Thanks for watching.